No, not really, no.
Good.
Got some good hair there, Bill.
All right. You recording?
Yes, I think we are.
Check 1 2. Did I make the green bars jump?
Yeah.
From the green bar watcher.
I don't know. I have to. Does everybody sound okay today?
Check the
I think
levels.
so.
Which one am I here? Let's see.
Blah, 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 blah.
You are number 2, I believe.
We've all been doing really great at 8, so.
I sound quiet.
You sound quiet?
I felt like it.
You want to overpower us, don't you? If we do them all the same, I can.
I do that
adjust
mentally.
You overpower everybody.
Yeah. Does everybody sound okay? We're all
Yeah.
between 8, give or take.
Thank you. Well, are we in pre-show mode? Are we even ready to do this?
I don't know. This has been an interesting
sound
day.
is live. Camera's live.
I know.
I am full of MSG and ready for a nap, actually.
That's
Yeah.
kind of how I feel. I just busted out this energy drink that me and you were going to share, right?
Yeah.
You don't have
your
cooties.
waterfall in it, right? Sticking your tongue in
You
there?
don't got any cold sores?
Not today.
Okay, good. Do you normally get them, though?
I have, yeah. Have you?
Oh, no, I don't.
Ever? You've never had a cold sore? You're a skater.
What do you mean?
You go on those like weird long trips where you're up for hours
cold
on end.
sores are like, it means you have like herpes or something.
Yeah.
Maybe I won't drink after you. Do you really get cold sores?
Yeah, I've had them before.
Okay, well let
You've
me.
never had one?
Let me drink half and then you drink the
Why
other
don't
half.
you go get a cup and put part of it in a cup?
You know when I get them is when we go to the beach and like my lips get all sunburned and it cracks and then it just hurts for a couple of days, goes away.
That's not. It's not the same thing. Your lips
Chapped
are just.
lips.
Yeah, that's chapped
Well, yeah,
lips.
but like it gets, I don't know, hurts.
Supposed to get some cow poop smeared on your lips.
Geez, there's that old cowboy humor.
Does it work?
You're from Texas. You haven't heard of that? Yeah.
No.
Keeps you from licking your lips.
Oh, so stupid.
Okay.
Wait, you're born and raised here, right, Bill?
Well, I was born in California, actually.
Oh, yeah.
But I
Go
was
back to where
raised
you
here.
came from. California.
Moved here when I was 2, so.
And you
I
were
was
born
and
okay.
raised here, yeah.
Don't California my Arizona.
So, all
And
right.
Tristan, you moved away at one point, or
Briefly.
Whose Dutch Bros cup is that?
that's mine.
Oh.
I make my lady get me a water every time she goes.
Well, I was going to say you can put your drink in there, except you got water in there, I guess.
I gotta stay
You
hydrated.
can, you can make a mixed drink.
It's hot out here. I gotta stay hydrated.
We have a spoon you could stir it up with. Put some of the.
a little
the,
cocktail spoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those
New and improved.
Those are fancy. I like those little
They are, yeah.
spinny spoons that you guys have.
Yeah.
You know why they spin?
So you can spin them. I don't know.
No. In fact, let's try it. You're supposed to be able to pour like that down the spoon, and it goes down and makes a layer of the other.
When you pour the
other
alcohol on
liquid?
it follows that spiral action down to the bottom of the cup. So
Oh,
you can
wow.
actually kind of like layer drinks and then mix it if you want and do fancy stuff.
Have you tried that with yours?
We did when we first designed them to make sure we had the right number of twists, yeah.
Whoa.
We had a lot of bartenders asking us for those types of spoons, and so they gave us a lot of feedback before we actually made our first
after
first round.
after we made the first batch, actually, because the first batch I don't think we twisted them. We just went, "Oh, you want a long spoon?"
No, we
Did
twisted
we-
them.
did
They
we?
kept coming to us asking for them. That's why we started making them, I
I
think.
thought we made a few without the twist, just because we thought it was just
We
unnecessary
might have for
ornamentation.
fun, but yeah, it's there for a reason.
Heck yeah.
All right.
Well,
Pre-show.
that was a good
spoon
pre-show.
talk.
Yeah, great pre-show, guys.
All right. Well, now we're in the real show.
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody. This is What's Cooking in the Shop podcast with your hosts, myself, Justin Modica of Modica Knives, and Tristan and Bill of Copper State Forge.
What's up?
Bill is the
Hey.
GOAT. Tristan will get there one day. But, yeah, we're here to talk about handmade cookware. I make knives. These guys are making pans and everything else you could possibly really think of in the kitchen.
We're greedy
And, yeah, you're making everything.
a little bit.
I just want to stick with these knives, Bo.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Well, we went to. We're going to talk about this later. We went to a chef event last night, And knives are kind of like the sexy chef tools, and the pans are kind of like the throwaway.
Yeah.
We use them, abuse them, and then leave them where we found them, kind of a thing.
Really? Now that you say that, these chefs that showed up for this competition we were at, the Tucson Knife Fight, which is a really cool event, by the way, they each had like 3 or 4 beautiful knives that they brought with them in a nice little leather pouch, and they roll them out and they take care of them. And then they had like a 5-gallon bucket full of like shitty Teflon pans and aluminum pans that were just disgusting. I mean, they were clean, but like just been used
Beat
and
up,
abused, and they
just-
didn't,
yeah.
and when you're done, you throw it away. But they're knives. Every time they used them, they wiped them down, sent them back down on the case, like they really cared. And I go like, if you just cared about a nice pan that way, you wouldn't have to replace these pans several times a year, which, judging by the condition they look to be in, probably happens. I
Yeah,
would
well,
say.
and part of it is not just the way they use them, but the actual pans themselves. If they're Teflon, they're just not
Yeah.
going to last.
Yeah.
Especially in restaurant use. I mean, they're doing the equivalent of what? A month's worth of meals probably a day.
Oh yeah, yeah. So your pan that wears out every 3 years, they go through in a month. you
Yeah,
know, if something
if
like
that,
that.
or
yeah.
week. Yeah.
So it's like, and they use bare aluminum skillets as well, which I know used to be the thing back in the day, especially if you're on like an omelet line or something like that, just because aluminum transfers heat so well. But we've kind of learned that aluminum is not the greatest thing to cook directly on. I don't know if it really causes a lot of issues, but there's a big stigma behind it.
Yeah.
As far as like health wise.
Yeah, that's why deodorants and things like that, they're trying to cut
getting rid
aluminum
of
out of
the-
those things
the-
because of Alzheimer's and things
Yeah.
like that.
If the deodorant doesn't have aluminum in it, I fucking smell like shit. Like I need that aluminum to like block something. 'cause-
That's a hard choice. Smell terrible now or Alzheimer's later? Or wait a minute. Yeah.
This is a weird admission. You ready? Do I smell? Have you
No.
noticed me smelling? I don't use any deodorant ever.
That's crazy.
I
hear that if you
don't.
just don't, because my mom doesn't either, and she never smells. And I hear that if you don't use it, it's like better for your odor.
don't know.
But I've been using it for so long, I have to. Like have you ever noticed me smell?
no, not really.
No, because I was gonna say.
I don't sniff you.
I've
that
walked in
closely.
here. I've walked in like here in my clients' houses and stuff,
Justin.
and been like, dude, I smell so bad. I hope they don't notice.
We've had a couple of guys who've worked here over the years that one of them kind of smelled like cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
We won't say who. They may or may not still work here. I'm not going to give any more information than that. However, cheeseburger, 100%.
Cheeseburger boy.
Yep, like American cheese. Yeah.
I had my one buddy told me my breath smelled bad once, and I was like, dude, you always say that my breath smells bad. He's like, it does. And I'd started flossing after that, and he stopped saying that. And I was like, has my breath like gotten better? And he's like, yeah, a lot better.
No.
And I was like, so now every time I brush my teeth, it's like I brush my teeth, floss, and use mouthwash. Like I have to do all three.
I didn't
All right.
floss until those little flossing tools were invented. Now,
Yeah.
I like abuse them. Like my
use
gums
it- you use
scream when they see one of those because I just go to town.
Use the automotive flossing regime, right? I mean, you're in your car and you're like, "Hey, where's the flossers?"
Yeah.
And they're always keep them in the middle of the thing.
Yeah.
And you're just
Dude, I have one buddy who basically had never flossed, and we were in
Yeah, isn't that
Tennessee
weird?
together. Yeah.
That was me at one point.
Well, I bought some of those flossers. I'm like, hey, dude, floss your teeth. And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, dude, just floss your teeth. And so he picks in there for a minute. You
You're
know,
like bleeding. all
comes
over
out
the
and it's
place.
kind of furry looking. I'm like, smell it. He's like, oh my God.
That's where the bad breath comes from.
Dude, he seriously was bleeding from every crease between every single tooth. But he started flossing after that. And
Yeah.
those flossers make life better.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
For real.
Whoever invented those deserves like a Nobel Peace Prize or something.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I just
Hygiene
use
prize.
normal floss, but
Really? Mm-hmm. You don't use those little floss pick things?
no.
Have you ever used one?
I have, yeah. I've had them in my car and stuff like that before. I just
Regular
haven't.
floss
not in a
sucks. Like you're
while.
like a caveman. That's like they've invented such a better tool, and you're using like a
I always
little
just
piece
feel-
of string.
I always just like wonder where that plastic goes because they're like those little plastic dinosaur.
Do you eat it
shape.
when you're done?
What do you mean where the plastic go? You mean like
When
after
you
you
throw it away.
Oh, when
Yeah,
you
it's just
throw it
like-
away.
Justin's saving the turtles. He doesn't
turtles.
want to toss out those turtle killers.
Oh, I thought you meant like you were getting some of that plastic in your body when you use it or something.
Yeah, I use like bamboo toothbrushes and shit too.
Oh, wow.
Because I'm like, I don't
Look
know.
at you.
I try not to like buy too much shit made of plastic.
You're trying to make up for using that aluminum in your deodorant.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
Just-
Good.
I didn't know you
That's
were an
cool.
environmentalist. That's cool. I mean,
No, I'm not.
vegan
Well, I'm
and
a vegan.
environmentalist. That's pretty amazing.
I just don't like plastic.
Just
shit.
makes everybody promise when they buy a knife, you're only using these to cut vegetables, right?
No plastics. No animals. Man, I'm
Cool.
proud of you, buddy. I mean, you're a more advanced human being than I am.
I don't know. Isn't plastic like super bad for the planet?
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be, but
Can
they
be.
bury it, and then over a few 100,000 years or something, it turns back into
Yeah. It
Earth.
goes, I mean, we're going to get in so much trouble if we keep going.
Yeah, we
It's
better
just-
stop.
It goes into a landfill. I mean, people are like, it takes it 10,000 years for that to break down. It's like, well, it's going to the bottom of a landfill.
And that's a blink in the eye of time.
In geologic time, 10,000 years will be gone, and
Yeah.
it's all good.
Now, I don't want like microplastics in my body, and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
those are good things to avoid. And yeah, I mean, I'm not saying we shouldn't be careful, right? We should. However, it's a toothpicker and it makes my breath smell better. So
Yeah, I'm not happy about the giant plastic island in the Pacific. Or
Yeah,
anything.
yeah,
That's,
like,
that's a bummer.
yeah, I don't want that to be there, but yeah. Anyways,
How
Justin
did we
saving the
get-
planet, guys. Thank you.
How did we get off on that? I mean, we went from flossing
Well,
our
I didn't
teeth
get off,
to
but
giant plastic
It
islands.
was a fun conversation.
Almost.
Jeez.
Oh man. So
Talking about going sideways.
how was the market this weekend, boys?
Ooh, a little
Medium.
rough. Yeah. Well, we did get back in Rito.
Yes,
Finally.
down in Tucson.
Finally.
Oh, you mean like they just now opened the storage?
Yeah, basically. Well, we finally just got access to it, and we went and
Yeah.
Adam down in Tucson. He went and got all of our stuff out the moment he had access to
And
it.
he even still had to go the day before because he wouldn't have got access in time on the day of the market
Yeah.
if he'd have just tried to do it like a regular market.
Yeah.
So we got a whole new
So
place.
that was what, week number 3 or 4?
Jeez.
They
Yeah.
would have totally
we missed 3
hosed
weeks
us.
of being able to do the market. I mean,
That
we're talking
sucks.
thousands of dollars
Yeah.
over like a $40 a month storage unit. So we had to we went to a new place. We left that public storage, went to like extra space storage or something, and we had to interview the lady. All right, so tell me about a time when there was a power outage. Were you able to give access to your units? Tell me about a time when, how do you handle security? Have you ever had to close your doors early because of the, and she's like, no, I don't know why.
Have you ever
anybody
kept
would do
people
that.
away from their stuff for multiple weeks at a time?
Yeah.
What's with all the questions?
Yeah. She's like going, what? Yeah.
So we told her, she's asked, these are weird questions. Yeah, well, public storage did all that to us. And she goes, 3 other people have moved in here since that storm because they had no access to their stuff for extended periods of time.
Damn.
Yeah. So we're not the only ones.
Yeah.
So
Which eventually might lead us to one of our little things we might talk about is places of business that don't really want your business.
yeah, they make it hard to do business with them.
Yeah.
And they did
in,
that.
In the other place, I guess we should mention, what's it called?
Extra space storage.
Extra space. They made it so easy. She
Yeah.
made it so. I mean, I'm sure there's part of it is the
corporate
processes
part.
that they put in, and part of it is the employee that you happen to get.
Yep.
She made it so easy.
She did. She was great.
Oh yeah. So
was easy.
after the grilling that we gave her, which was probably longer than actually signing up for the storage
Yeah,
thing.
she
really.
made it so simple. Yep. So, and we're easygoing guys, right? It's not hard to make us happy. Just give us decent service and what we're paying for,
I mean,
and we're happy.
You can get whacked in the head with the dildo and you still walk
Yeah.
away with a smile on your face.
Okay. More sideways.
We're still flying with them. I can tell you that. So
You're hoping it happens
Tristan's
again.
looking
huh?
forward to it.
next time I'll bring my own dildo. It'll be a fight.
Instead of a knife fight, that event, dildo fight.
But yeah. So anyway, so we did Rito. I digress.
Adam did Rito.
Adam did Rito.
Adam took care
And
of
he
took
did
their
great.
business. Yeah.
He did great. He sold a few pans. It was nice to be back there. It was still a little warm, but they've got a nice Ramada set up out there that's permanent for the farmers market. So he did that, did wonderful. Bill went up to Flagstaff,
Yeah.
did the Flagstaff market. That was a little
It
slow.
was kind of a struggle.
Sold a pan and
a
what?
couple other little
little
things, and
So it was rough.
had a couple people. Had a lady break my heart. Said she was coming back for a pan.
Yeah.
Then they didn't. Actually, they didn't break my heart. They just kind of.
They hurt you a little.
I feel like someone did that
left
to
a
me
little scar. Yeah.
a couple weeks ago, and I was like, they never came back.
Well, so I hate those really pushy sales guys that like you can tell like they just want the sale right now, and they're just like they'll do whatever it takes, and they don't want you to walk away. They keep finding reasons to talk to you and to keep you right in front of them and discussing at least what they're selling, even if you're not buying right then. And the reason for that is most people who walk away never
Don't
come back.
Yeah.
So they just kind of go like, this is my one chance. If only 5% of the people that say they're going to come back actually come back, I would rather just keep engaging the one that's in front of me until maybe even I piss them off
Right.
and scare them away. But if they do buy, that's more likely than them coming back later.
Yeah.
Right? So they increase their odds
Just-
by doing that. I can't do that
You're
really.
kind of walking a
but-
tightrope there. Yeah. Between
Yeah.
completely just whizzing the person off and they're never coming back. Kind of like we talked about before.
Whizzing them off.
Well, pissing them off.
Oh, no. Okay. Sorry.
Making them angry at you or irritated. How's that?
No, I like the old school lingo. That's cool.
Okay, I mean, just irritating you enough that they kind of go like, next time we come to the market,
I'm gonna
you got to
dodge
walk
that
on
guy.
you got to walk on the other side of the
Yeah.
aisle from this place, and don't make eye contact. You know that kind of thing.
Yeah,
So,
I'd rather not do that. Now, now that I think about it, we are seeing the same people many times, week after week after week.
Most of them, anyways.
If we were just at a home show and you go like, I'm never going to see that person again, most likely, I'm a lot more likely to push harder.
yeah,
I'll push a little harder. I don't care. I'm never going to see him again. But if it's somebody who like, they walk by every week when they
Well-
buy their bread and I recognize them, I probably want to keep them on my side
Yeah.
because they have friends and eventually they might buy.
Yeah, I always
well-
try to say what up to the people who have bought stuff before.
Oh yeah,
'Cause I'm like,
absolutely.
oh, come over here and buy another one,
Oh,
please.
yeah. The more people that stop and talk,
they
the more
do,
attention
yeah.
it draws.
I mean, you're going to start selling knives as gifts if you haven't already started to. Right?
Yeah. Some people are like, yeah, this is for
I have
my
your
son.
knife, and now I'm getting one for so and so. Yeah,
Yeah,
Now, how did you do it uptown?
yeah.
I did
How's it?
good. I sold 4 knives.
Oh my
Dang,
god, what?
dude.
We're gonna-
Two of them I sold for really cheap. They were kind of hiccups. So I was like rushing last week. And one of my knives, I do like this black little spacer up near like the bolster area on my resin handles, and I forgot that little black piece. So I was kind of bummed on that because my set looked almost complete, but except that one knife didn't have the black piece on it. And my apprentice drilled a hole in that material, and there wasn't any cholla cactus on one side of it. It was just blank resin.
Oh.
So I was just like not
Okay.
happy. Just wasn't happy with it. So it was funny because like the price tag is like $450 on it, and some guy comes up, he's like, I really like that one, blah blah blah, and I was like, well, there's a sale going on like right now for that one and this one right here, because I had another one where the handle was just a little cockeyed and it was bugging the shit out of me. So I sold that one for cheap too. But
Don't look around here too much, Justin.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. He's like, well, I don't know. I didn't want to spend that much. I was, blah, blah, blah. And it seemed like he didn't want to, like, he was like, about $150 is what I'd want to spend. I was like, just take it, $150. He's like, yeah, I can't really beat that. That's $300 off.
Dude, that's a
Yeah,
good deal.
wow.
That's a good deal.
And
Wow.
I was like, yeah, $300 off, but I did make a mistake on it. So,
Let me know when you mess up the next knife.
Yeah. no
Okay.
kidding.
And then the other one that had a little bit of a cockeyed handle, yeah, I showed it to her. It was like one of those things. She really wanted one, but she was like, I just can't spend that money today. And I was like, well, check this out. Does that bother you at all? Can you even see that it's cockeyed a little bit? She's like, yeah, I can kind of see it. I was like, well, I'll do this one.
Especially when she pointed it out to her.
Yeah, and she was like, I was like, I'll do that one for $150 too, because she was like, he just walked off with a $150 knife,
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll do $150 for that one too. And then she ended up cutting herself.
Oh, no. Are you
man.
serious?
Right
Yeah,
there? Do you
yeah.
carry Band-Aids?
I don't.
Tourniquets?
No, I should, because I had some.
Lint rolls? No lint rolls?
There was like one of the booths that they set up with picnic tables right next to me for people to just hang out and sit at, and it had paper towels on it, and I grab some of those for her. But yeah, she totally cut her finger open.
Oh,
Jeez.
no.
I felt bad, but she was so nice about it because
Well, you did your job.
Yeah, you made a
Was
sharp
she
knife.
like testing it out, or what was happening?
I didn't see it, so I just turned around. She goes, "Oops," and I was like, "Oh, are you okay?" And she's like, "Oh no, I'm bleeding." And I was like, "Oh, shit." I was like, "My bad." She's like, "I just got really excited. I just felt the edge, and you know." I was like, "Yeah, they're really sharp." She's like, "I know now."
What the hell?
So yeah.
You should, you put. It seems like you had a sign about that. Something
So
about like, do
I-
not try these knives like you do regular knives at the
Well,
store.
no,
'cause,
I have a little sign that says "Do not touch the knives," but I want to do a new one. I want it to say, "If you bleed on it, you buy it."
Oh,
I
there
think
you
I
go.
saw someone at a knife show or something like that, and they had a sign like that, and I was like, "Dude, that makes a lot of sense because someone bleeds on it. It's kind of like, dude, that you got to take that home with you."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well-
And people are so anxious to just go touch them and stuff too. And a lot of people, I have to be like, hold on. Do you see the sign? Can you just please set them down unless you are really interested, and then you can feel the weight. And I feel like I'm kind of being a dick and maybe like,
Or saving their life.
or say,
that,
yeah.
yeah, but I don't know. Some people kind of take offense to it. Like this one dude was very quick to like grab one of these knives. I don't remember what he was doing, but I was like, "Hey, can you not, with that one?" Oh, I had my personal knife there, and I was letting people do test cuts on carrots. And he grabs one of the like
Regular
knives I'm
knife
trying to
for sale,
sell,
yeah.
and he starts cutting with, whoa,
Yeah.
don't cut with that one. I'm trying to sell that one, and I want it to look the same.
Right.
And he's like, "Oh, okay," and just kind of like walked off like I was being a dick. And I was like, "No, I just didn't want you to cut with that. I want you
Yeah.
to cut with this one."
Well, it can be easy to upset you sometimes. Remember when you almost made me buy a knife from you in Scottsdale? I was like, "Hey,
Oh,
let me
yeah.
see that knife." And I'm like, "Is that sharp?" And I grab it, and apparently,
What were you doing with it again?
I was like, acting like I was gonna shave the hair on my arm.
Oh yeah, because that's
Oh,
You're like,
gross.
"What are you
Yeah.
doing? You're disgusting. Somebody's gonna buy it." I'm like, "Settle down. I know it's okay." I really was gonna do it.
I know
But
you
You stopped me.
You
yeah.
you were hitting it, arm
about
hairs
to.
with it.
But I was so sweaty, so it was just kind of slid across.
Yeah, that
I'm
makes it
just
better.
kidding. He's like, "Somebody's gonna cut their food with that." I'm like, "I'm gonna wash it first. It'll be fine."
Yeah.
You should see what happens. How many people finger the inside of our pans before somebody buys it? It's in the
Right.
market.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's true.
But
We warned them. Go home and give this a good wash first.
Yeah,
and,
a lot of
and
people
heat
have
it up to
touched it.
380
That's true.
degrees. So,
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
I take my own personal pan every week, and I invite people to touch
Oh,
it
my
all day
gosh.
long. I mean, just like feel
There's
the inside
been-
of this pan, and it doesn't even bother. Doesn't even
There's been more human meat in your pan than there has
cow. Yeah.
anything else. Like, they just finger the hell out of his pan every week.
That's funny.
But it's all good. I mean,
So that was the first person to cut themselves at the market, and I've been waiting for that to eventually happen. And then another guy cut himself too. It wasn't as bad. He was
Same
like,
day?
Yeah, and he bought a knife too, but full price.
no good.
So
Wait.
All right.
I'm onto something.
That
here.
is
Wait,
something.
everybody
yeah.
who cuts themselves ends up buying it, and
Yeah.
that's why I was like,
you should
that
put up a sign that says "Feel the blade."
and then a sign right next to it: cut yourself, you buy it, or bleed on it, you buy it.
And then a sign behind you saying, "Tourniquets available for those who want to check the sharpness of my
Yeah.
knives." Yeah.
We did have a guy cut himself on one of our ice cream scoops one time. Like there was a little tiny burr, like on
Did you?
on the end of
Okay.
one.
I must not have been there.
That somehow, I don't think you were. And he slid his finger down to the end and like around the edge, and it just tiny. Let's say like a paper cut.
That's
But
how the
it just
other
started
dude cut
dripping
his.
A little bit of blood out. It wasn't a big deal, and he just pointed it out. Hey, you might want to take that one back. Oh, I'm sorry. And he ended up buying something too. He didn't buy the knife. I think he bought a bottle opener or something.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, and then I sold a cleaver. That dude didn't cut himself though, but he looked at the cleavers. I don't know. It has to have been a couple of months ago, but yeah, he was like, I would like it just a little taller. So I started making him a little taller just in case he ever came back. And he came back and he was like, "Whoa, that's a new one, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah, I started making him taller because of you. Remember you wanted him a little taller?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, all right, I want to do it then.
Cool.
Nice,
there you
dude.
go. All right.
So
Just a little
Respond
bit
to the
taller.
market. See,
Yeah.
that's acting like you want somebody's business.
Yeah.
Rather than going like,
You changed your whole lineup for that
Or like-
dude, and he came back.
yeah, no, he was super excited. He was all giddy after buying it.
Nice.
That's cool,
Very
man.
Cool. Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to just call Bo and tell her, all right, we're back. I mean,
It's so hot.
Justin's doing so good at
so
Uptown,
hot.
even when it's 1,000,000 degrees.
Yeah, I don't know. It was super overcast for like the first few hours, and it was kind of nice. I mean, it wasn't nice, but
Yeah.
oh, bless you.
Thank you.
Should we talk about food?
One more event. So, so we did go to the Tucson Knife Fight in
Yes.
Tucson yesterday. We drove all the way down because we were kind of sponsoring the event. We have 3 skillets.
Well, we weren't sponsoring the whole event. We were just
No, we're sponsoring.
we're not even we're not even on the T-shirts.
No, but we are on the
Come on.
banner, and we are donating 3 skillets.
Yes,
and they did
yes.
invite us. We were the only sponsor they invited in the 15-minute break while the chefs were in the pantry
That was
gathering
super
their
cool.
supplies.
That was nice of them. Yes.
To go and announce that we were sponsoring them and giving the giving away, donating skillets for the winner.
Right.
So 3 pans, small, medium, large, hybrid. So I was gonna be like so sincere when we go up there. My name is Tristan. This is my dad, Bill. We're fine. But they were all hyped up, and I jumped in there, and I was just like, I don't know. It probably sounded really stupid. They're like, yeah, guys, check it out. We make these badass pans. We used to be corporate goons, and now we're blacksmiths, and we make this cool shit. And you should buy one. That
Hell
was
yeah.
about it. For like
Sweet.
3 minutes.
That's pretty much
Did
it.
they did they have Don Wynn up there, the knife maker?
I don't think he was there yesterday.
Did they talk about his knife though? Because I know he's
I
donating.
think they mentioned something about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
they had a few different sponsors that they were announcing in between each event, and we were kind of walking around talking to people, so we missed a lot of that stuff. But all of the audience was listening to that. But what's really cool is Adam has met a guy named Wesley Source down there. He runs the Tucson Tasty Show. He's got a radio show. I think he also records it and sends it out as a podcast as well. He's doing some TV stuff, and so Adam has kind of teamed up with him and met a lot of really cool chefs down there. So we were getting introduced.
does a
to all those
radio
folks.
show.
That's what I said. Right?
Oh, okay. I thought you said podcast.
No, I said he does a radio
And he's
show.
going to come up
He
here and
corrected me.
smack you right upside
That's
the head.
right. It is a radio show.
Doesn't he have a podcast too? The
hey,
Tucson
hey.
Tasty Show.
I think they record it and then run it as a podcast.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure exactly how it works. I'll get some
It's
clarification.
cool. I listened to a couple episodes
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah. So he knows like every chef in all of Tucson. Like he's homies with them. They're doing Tasty Outdoors. They're going to do a new recorded show where they talk about. It's kind of like they go hunting, but this focuses more on what you do after the hunt and how you prepare and cook the food, the game, rather than actually going out and getting the kill, right? Like actually hunting.
Yeah, I
Which
think
is
I'm
really
giving
cool.
them a knife for that, and it's got to be by the end of the month, and I'm fucking stressing.
Yeah, we
No.
took some pans down and left them for them when we were down there yesterday.
You're lucky you have
So-
stuff made already.
Yeah, they're going to be filming up in like northern Utah or something like that. Wesley was like, "Hey, if you want to go, let me know." I'm like,
I need to finish.
"Maybe."
I need to do a knife for them. I mean, I told them I would.
You better.
Uh-oh.
I'm fucking slacking. End of the month is coming up too, kind of. So what is it? 13th.
Yeah, we're halfway through the
we're
month.
halfway
man.
through the month already.
God damn it.
But we do have a good event coming up this weekend, right?
Yeah, the Valley Ho again.
Yeah, we'll be at the Valley Ho. Chef Russell invited us back, so
That Ho-Az Hotel in Scottsdale.
I think they try to avoid calling it that.
Oh shoot.
I won't tell.
Okay. Well, it's kind of live
It's-
to the world.
Well, I mean, they still talk about it, but yes, they call it. What are they calling it now?
The Westward Valley Ho or something. I don't know.
Something, yeah.
I forget.
remember. But anyways,
Well, whoops.
that's
Ho-Az.
okay.
I'm pretty sure that's.
Ho-Az
I'm
Hotel.
pretty sure I made all these same jokes the first time we talked about them, and I
Yeah.
got looked at sideways from Bill over there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna be back to this weekend. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I'm trying to make enough stuff for that, and
And it's gonna be cool.
yeah.
It's indoors.
Yeah, that's gonna be the best part. And then
yeah.
Bill's gonna be in Dallas.
Dallas.
He's flying out alone. Gonna run 2 8-hour markets in
Damn.
2 days. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We did get into several other markets. We will start those up in September, though. We're pretty excited for that. We'll make an announcement of which ones on social media, and as we grow a little bit closer, we'll kind of go over that.
So yeah, we're going to try them out, see how they do.
Yeah, we're already booked for a few, so hopefully it goes well because we've already got plane tickets for four more weekends.
Something like that.
At least.
Crazy.
As of right now, and then probably all of October, November, and
Of course,
December.
the plane tickets we bought aren't the plane tickets we got.
Now Frontier's changing tickets too, man. Like,
Really?
did we talk about this before? Spirit
I don't
fucking
know.
changed our flight.
Not
We
just-
had
not just
nonstop
changed
flights.
it,
We had
but, like,
nonstop flights, right? $100 round trip. Then they go, "Oh, sorry guys, we changed your flights. Click here to confirm that you're okay with it." We go to look at them. The flight there now has a layover in Vegas for 7 hours. Like
That's a
that's
whole
even
day.
close to the same. Like, no, but it's like you were gonna leave at 1 a.m. and get there straight away at 4 a.m. And then that's perfect for us to go get ready for the market. Now they're like, you got to leave at 8 p.m. You have a 6.5 hour, 7 hour layover in Vegas, and you get there at 6 a.m.
Which is barely enough time for us to
Yeah, so we're gonna
go
be
get the
traveling
rental car
all night.
bus down to the market.
Maybe since it's in Vegas, you could like do some slots or something, and
Sluts.
not
Slots.
a chance.
Slots.
Not a chance.
Oh,
and then I don't know, make up some money that you could be making out there.
yeah, that's how slot machine works. You usually make a lot of money
you just
when you play
go
those.
like how much do you want to make while we're here, Tristan? Just
I don't gamble. I don't know what
Name
the
your
people are
number.
playing.
Don't start now.
don't start now.
Don't
I'm
start
not.
now.
No, I've done it a couple times, but it's always just like play this fucking stupid game and then
Yeah.
lose your money.
Well,
Yeah.
my wife and I, Terry, we did a thing with the Chamber of Commerce group, and this is many years ago. We went and had dinner at one of the local casinos, and after dinner, somebody goes like, "Hey, we're gonna go play the blackjack table. You want to go play?" And we were in a new business and like really short on money, but we are also trying to be social, so we go like, "Okay, fine." So I went and get $80 out of the ATM, and they go like, "Oh, we're playing the $10 table. You get a choice between a $5 table or a $10 table."
Jeez.
Like, "Oh yeah, we're playing the $10 table." So we go over. So I give Terry $40, and I take $40, and we each sit down. And in 4 hands, literally like 5 minutes later, we were out. We were done. And they're like, "Oh," and like,
Oh, that was
okay,
fun.
yeah, was that supposed to be fun? That was fun. That was really cool. Yeah, thank you
my
guys.
gosh.
And I was like, that's my whole gambling experience. I was like, okay, I took the cure right there.
Dude,
and I was
yeah.
like
That's nuts.
Like
So I've
four
done
hands and out.
several skate trips to Vegas, and I usually will just sit at the penny slots and wait for free drinks to come by. And usually the waitresses don't want to like even look over at the penny
Engage
slot
the penny
guy.
slot people.
But I would hound them down like, "Hey, I'm over here. I need a drink. I'm spending pennies over here."
Dude,
I'm dropping these pennies. Give me enough drinks, and I'll move to the nickel machine.
we will go to Laughlin occasionally, and my wife and all of her friends, they like to go do bingo, which is great because you walk in, you spend $25 or $30, but they give you like 40 freaking bingo cards. And you go in, and all of her friends have like these special bags that they bring with all these daubers in them, all these different colors and shit, and they're like, they're fucking into it. I mean, they are into playing. They got like 6 different cards going at once, and they're like, "You want to play?" I'm like, "I'd play a card." I couldn't even keep up on one, like B12, O14, GO13. I'm like, what the hell? They just, I can't even, and they're stamping 6 cards and looking, "Oh, you missed one." I'm like, how the fuck did you look, like, how did you get mine? And,
Have you ever
and
played
keep
at
up
like a
with
bar,
yours?
like in a bar setting?
No,
That's kind of fun.
after that, I never played again. I did get a bingo once because somebody else caught it for me, but like that was it. But what's cool is you go in there for like 3 hours for $25. That is the best value you will find at a casino.
Oh yeah.
One time
'Cause
I
even
was
if you
in
lose, you're good.
One time I was in Minneapolis, and there was some bar that had bingo night, and by the end of the night, I had those bingo markers like written all over my face and shit. Like I got fucked up.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it was a great night.
But anyways, bingo is the way you get your money's worth if you're just looking for entertainment, which is, I play it like an arcade. I go in with some money, and I expect to have a good time and come back with nothing. If I win some money, great, but I haven't yet.
Well, let me know how Vegas goes.
Yeah.
Well,
You'll be there
Will
7
do.
hours. You'll be there for a whole day.
I've spent nights in the Vegas airport. It's
God, you could
It's
imagine
terrible.
trying to sleep.
Well, yeah, and I still have PTSD from I think they still have it. They have one of the bingo machines is the Wheel of Fortune.
Oh yeah.
And the way they would work it is that they got all the machines right in the center of the place and of the terminal, and like you've arrived and you're just trying to crash somewhere because you're going to be there for the next 5 hours. And just about the time you think maybe you're getting comfortable, that Wheel of Fortune machine just screams, goes, "Wheel of Fortune!" Ding, 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 ding. And nobody's sitting there. I mean, it's not doing anything, but it just does that. Like they've got it timed exactly right, so they know you can
right when
just
you're
get
dozing
over
off,
it,
you're like,
and you can just doze off, and they slam it again with it. And it's like Wheel of Fortune. It's like, oh,
Did you get up and go play it? Did it win you
no,
over?
didn't win me over at all.
Screw that. Go sleep in the fucking bathroom.
Finds a baseball bat and he's just whacking the machine.
Oh my gosh, I don't know. The more we talk about doing these Dallas markets, the more I think we should just spend all of our money online. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's going to pay off.
We're waiting to see how it goes with the I mean, this is an online play ultimately.
Yeah.
It's to just get known in another market and see if we get more people.
We'll see how it goes. The
Going
swamp ass
online.
factor is so high in Dallas because it's so humid. Do you guys ever, you know what the
Yeah.
swamp ass factor is? Oh, sorry, you're from Houston, so you know what it is. You just didn't know there was a scale, right?
I didn't know there was a scale now.
Okay, so John Holmberg, KUPD, morning sickness. If you're from Arizona, you know there is a swamp ass factor. And that is how many seconds it takes when you sit down in your car in the summer for the first bead of sweat to go down your back and go down your ass crack.
I don't sweat from my back, I don't think.
When you're sitting in your car and it's 110 degrees and you get in, your back doesn't get kind of wet?
Maybe a little. I sweat out of my hands and feet. And that's
Oh.
it.
It's everywhere else you're covered in aluminum, apparently.
Yeah.
But that's the swamp ass factor. So in Dallas, it is like constant. It's like
Yeah.
immediate almost. Here, I mean, what would you say it was like when you started walking out of Uptown? How long did it take the sweat to run down your back?
Oh shit, I don't know. It was so
Pretty
hot.
quick?
I don't remember. I was just like, oh dude, that was a horrible experience. So I left. I'm like, all right, cool. I had a good market. And I'm like, oh, I don't have enough cash to pay Bo like the 10% or whatever. So I'm like, all right, I got to go to the bank. So I fucking,
Oh no!
so I run to the bank, and it's for some reason the ATMs, like the drive-through ATMs, are on the other side of the parking lot as the actual bank.
Weird.
So I go pull in. I'm in my big glass mirror van, and I pull up. Turns out the curb was a little too high for my glass rack, and I fucking just smash into it. So I'm fucking instantly so pissed off because it's so hot. You know, I probably had 12 beads of sweat going down my ass cheeks by this point. So I get out and I'm like, fuck, looking at it, and I had to drive back off of the curb and like have it scrape the whole way. It ended up being okay. So I walk the rest of the way and try to get my money out. That ATM's not serving any cash. So I get fucking pissed off, and I go into my van and I slam the fucking door because I'm pissed and it's hot or whatever, and my fucking door handle breaks on my van. So I'm sitting there in line, there's people behind me, and I'm trying to fucking fix my door handle. So, because it was like, I don't know. So anyways, because it was broken.
It's just not
so I
today,
so I
Buttercup.
fix it, and I go drive across the parking lot to the actual bank, and I go to pull money out, and I fucking left my card in the ATM across the fucking parking lot.
Did it eat it? Did it eat it and keep it? Since
No.
you'd walked away from it?
No, so I go back fucking driving so fast across the parking lot in my glass fucking van. And I get over there, and there was no one at the ATM, but my card was gone. And I was like, that motherfucker took it. Piece of shit. You know? And so I was like, but maybe he was a nice gentleman and went across the street to the fucking bank and handed my card to a teller or something. So I drive all the way back, and I'm on the phone with my wife, and I'm like telling her the whole story, all heated. And some guy was like, oh, I just gave it to, that was you that left the card in the ATM. I was trying to find you.
Oh, man.
And he's like,
That was
I just
nice.
gave it to the teller, and I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like,
Oh, man. That's a rough go. Did you make it back in time, or were they all gone?
no, I made it back. It only takes me like fucking second to break down. And I didn't have to break down a canopy or anything either. They put me in a spot that already had a canopy, so I just paid the $5 canopy fee.
Nice.
Yeah.
I would do that every week.
Yeah, just pay $5 and not
Yeah,
set up
it's
a
the best
canopy.
$5 ever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I forgot all about that until right now. But yeah, that was fucking annoying.
Man,
I don't know. I wasn't keeping track, but I could tell it was. But
that's crazy. Yeah.
that had a high F-bomb factor in that whole story.
Oh, sorry. Well,
Oh, no.
That's fine. That's fine.
You weren't
That's
listening to me?
It earned it.
That's an indicator of irritation. Yeah.
Of how
you can
mad
tell
I
how
was.
mad you were. Yeah.
Dude, and like normally I wouldn't even have been that mad, but it was because it was so hot. Like that's why I was that mad.
Yeah. If it was
my-
beautiful out, you're like, I'm going to go for a stroll, get my cash. It's all going to be good.
Yeah, exactly.
Swamp ass factor was a little high that day, though, so it irritated the hell out of you. That was a 10
Yeah,
F-bomb
yeah.
story.
Yeah, my van doesn't really like cool down until you start going like 60 down the freeway.
And then it takes an hour probably because it's giant inside. So it absorbs a lot of that cool air before
Yeah.
it gets cool.
So yeah, I was just so mad. I'm so sorry about all the
Oh,
F-bombs.
that's
Dude.
okay. But we're using that as a new indicator of how truly
Hot
Pissed
it
off
is.
you are?
So,
how
well,
hot it is and how irritating the situation is.
So
Yes.
my experience with the swamp ass factors, it's much higher in Bill's truck.
Oh,
And let me
it's
tell you why.
whatever.
Why?
When this bastard drives anywhere, first of all, you walk up to the car, you go to pull the handle, and you're like, why is it locked? And then he's got to stand there and fish through his pocket and find the keys as we're all standing there trying to get in, and then hit the button to get into the car. Right? I'm like, we could have already been sitting down. We waited 3 minutes here for you to find the
2
keys.
seconds.
As we're
2
walking up, you
seconds.
just
felt
look
like
the
3
damn car.
minutes, but it's 2 seconds.
So then every time we sit down inside, he like has to sit down, he plugs his phone in, he does all this shit without starting the car. he wants to plug
likes
it
the
in,
sauna,
put the
the
thing up,
sauna effect.
get his maps going, and then he'll put the key in, give it a little turn. We're like 8 minutes in, you are drenched in sweat, and he just won't turn the damn key. You have to walk him through it. As we're going to the car, 50 yards, I'm like, all right, start reaching for your keys. Find your key. You got your keys? All right. Unlock the car. When we get there, straight in the ignition, turn it to on. He'll put the keys in the ignition, not turn it, get his phone out.
Is it to save a little bit of
What the
gas?
fuck is
it's
going
just-
on?
just like- I guess.
And then he's
getting
irritated with me.
I guess Princess here just can't take a little bit of heat and swamp ass.
Why would you want that if you don't have to have it? Why would you want that? So now I've got it. So now half the time he sticks the key in the ignition, I got to reach over and turn the truck on. I've got to do it for him.
Yeah, the truck's got to warm up. My old boss would get so mad at me because I would take the work truck and start it and drive. And he like one time he like waved me down because I started it and took off. And he like waved me down. I was like, "What's going on?" And he's like, "Why? I noticed you just turn on the truck and you just go. You just drive." And I'm like, "Yeah, because I'm ready to go. I'm going to get sandwiches for lunch. Like,
Or whatever.
like what do you need?" And he's like, "Well, just don't do that anymore. You need like let the truck warm up." And I'm like, "It's a 2010 like fucking F-150." I'm like, "Really? You want it to warm up? We pulled up like an hour ago. It's probably plenty warm. It's hot outside. Like what
It's
do
a
you mean?"
new car. Back in the day, maybe, but
He's
not
like-
now.
He's like, check it out, buddy. Whenever the engine's doing blah, 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 it takes a while for the oil to get to the top of the cylinders and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, really, dude? Like, you're being that fucking nitpicky? Needless to say, I didn't have that job for very long. Fucking lasted like 3 days. Motherfucker, we were cutting some drywall or something, and he was like, or cutting this wall down, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna cut this wall down. I just need you to sit right here and wait for me, and then we're gonna take like the 2x4s and all that stuff out to the trash." I was like, "All right." So he fires up the jigsaw and he's fucking taking down the wall, and I'm sitting there with my hands in my pockets, and he's running this all, and it stops and looks at me dead in the eyes, and I was like, "What do you want?" And he's like, "Can you take your hands out of your fucking pockets?" And I was like, "Excuse me?" Like, what'd you just say to me? You know? And he's like, "Just take your hands out of your fucking pockets. It's been driving me nuts all day." And I'm like, "You told me to sit here and wait for you to cut that so I can go take it in the dumpster." And he's like, but anyways, needless to say, I was like, dude, I'll walk out right now. I'll get an Uber because he picked me up.
I'm gonna go make knives.
I was like, because I will leave right. This was before I made knives, but I was working construction. But I was like, I'll leave right now, dude. I'll get an Uber home. Like, don't talk to me like that. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But that was my last day with him.
No.
What a weirdo, though. It seems like everything pissed him off.
He's kind of like a buddy of mine.
What the hell?
But everyone knows he's a pain in the ass to work with. So
That's
I
funny.
mean, there's no way he's listening to this. So I can
Oh my
I can
gosh.
talk shit about him. But I didn't work for him for very long. But I had a couple of buddies who tried to work for him. It was like the same way. They're like, I cannot work for Ben.
That's weird.
Oh, now you named him.
Uh-oh. Now he'll find it.
No, he's not listening. He doesn't even have social media. He doesn't have anything. He watches the news, though. He called me up when he saw me on the news, whenever the news was at Uptown.
Oh,
What?
really?
Yeah.
People
Dude.
our age watch the news?
No. He's older. He's like probably 55 or something.
Oh, that's ancient.
Yeah, that's ancient.
In between y'all's ages, probably. Right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird being the same age as old people.
How old do you feel, Bill?
I don't know. I never got much past 20, I don't think. It's like how I felt. But
Yeah.
well, I know I'm feeling it more now. I mean, as far as other things.
But your mind
Aches and
never
pains.
developed past a 20
Yeah,
year
it never developed.
Yeah, 'cause that's definitely how I feel.
Developmentally stunted. Yeah.
I feel like I've gained a little bit of knowledge about certain things, but other than that, like, still pretty fried.
Wisdom. They call that wisdom.
I guess I've gained wisdom. I don't know.
Yeah, I've gained a
about
little
that.
bit, not a lot, but I'm the roll around on the dad and wrestle all the kids kind of guy. Like I refuse to get old.
Yeah.
It probably pisses my wife off, but I'll be immature forever.
I think I will too. It's kind of hard not to be.
I know. I don't want to. What's the point of living if you're just gonna be sitting around all the time,
Like
being
serious.
old?
Like serious.
Yeah.
People who are serious, I'm like,
I don't have time for that.
this is hard to talk to you. It's too serious.
All right, so what are we doing besides markets now? We've done the recap. We've talked about swamp ass.
We need to talk about some food after the swamp ass talk.
All right, let's do food.
All right, yeah.
Y'all have anything yummy? This is Yummy Report, everybody.
Yeah, Mary. Okay.
Dude.
So report your yummies.
Last night I had half of a meatball from the Charo Steakhouse,
yeah. Oh.
albondigas, which is like Mexican meatball kind of soupy stuff.
Hmm.
This wasn't really soup though, but Wesley Source brought out a cast iron full of these meatballs, and I got half of one, and it was incredible. It was incredible.
Hell yeah. Just half a meatball turned you on
Half
that
a
much?
meatball. It was a big meatball. It was a mouthful of ball. Yeah.
Okay. You're used to that, right?
Oh yeah. Full mouthful.
Hell yeah.
And it was very yummy.
Yeah.
What would you give it, Bill?
It's a solid 3.
It was a 3.
Yeah.
It was
Hell
a 3.
yeah.
I mean, they've been doing that for a while. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They've
Oh,
got
man.
that pretty nailed down.
It was so good.
I tried a new recipe I saw online. It's kind of like an Italian creamy lemon chicken dish.
Really?
Kind of reminded me of the fuck me chicken a little bit, but
Did you make it in our pan?
yeah,
Did it take
Good.
all the seasoning off?
yeah.
Nice.
I'm not worried about that.
Well, people go
The
like,
fuck me chicken takes it off too. I think it's the sun dried tomatoes.
Oh, yeah.
maybe. Yeah, they're
Well,
acidic.
if,
Yeah.
once you get liquid in with those and start
Yeah,
simmering.
So
it,
this
yeah.
one I seared the chicken on y'all's 12-inch hybrid.
Mhm.
Seared the chicken on both sides. I seasoned it with lemon pepper, and then and then I flipped the chicken, let it cook on the other side for a little while, and then I deglazed with Chardonnay. I felt fancy doing that.
Dang.
And then
the
I,
Chardonnay probably didn't help the
Deglazing
seasoning.
with wine will kind of, I mean, depending on how robust your seasoning is at the time, yeah, and how long you do it.
It's a good thing or bad thing?
No, it's just acidic, slightly acidic.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, the whole dish was acidic.
So
Yeah.
But then I put so after
apparently
that,
that's a good thing.
little bit of chicken stock, some heavy whipping cream, and then I added some flour to like thicken up the sauce, and then put it over angel hair noodle, and obviously squeeze lemons all in it and stuff,
Sounds
and
so
have
good.
some lemons diced up and make it look a little prettier, and then sprinkle a little parsley on top. I wish I got a photo, but our counter was a wreck, dude. I got my phone out and I was like, there's like something in the background of every angle.
That's why I don't get
Yeah.
pictures at home.
Oh, I
I have
know.
4 kids. There's shit everywhere all the time.
We're supposed to
I'm
be taking pictures of this food we're cooking, and I go like, oh, okay. It's kind of clear. And then you look at it and like, you know, when you were cooking, a bunch of stuff flopped out onto the stove, and then it
Yeah.
looks terrible.
Yeah.
So I just listened to Knife Talk, and they were talking about that knife makers are
not cookers.
not cookers, And
Not
it's
chefs, not
There's
cooking,
all
yeah.
these culinary knife makers that don't know how to fucking cook. Blah blah blah. I thought it was hilarious, but
That's funny.
But I mean, I wonder if maybe it's because everyone's house is a wreck and they don't want to picture their food or something.
It's
But-
hard.
But they were like, yeah, send us a picture of you actually cooking with your knife, because I don't think any of you culinary knife people know how to cook. So I send them a couple pictures and message something to them, and we'll see if they mention it. But
Cool.
I hope they do.
but I thought that was pretty funny. But maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe it's true, because we don't get very many pictures. People sending in their pictures on.
I think everybody has the same problem. By the time you're done cooking, you've trashed the place, even if it started out looking pretty
Yeah.
good. Usually,
and you're hungry.
and you're hungry, and you know, we've all been spanked by the YouTube people that any social media, we just don't want to lay it out there and go like, hey, this is real life. You know,
Yeah.
it's
well,
like,
and the same thing as Bill has mentioned before. It's like, it looks amazing. It smells amazing. You worked hard. And then you take a picture and it looks like a pile of shit in your pan.
yeah, or pan of puke. Yeah, because
That's the hardest thing.
But the whole
'cause it's-
thing
'cause
is
it's
we have
gravy
this,
or
we have
whatever,
this
yeah.
hashtag that we want people
I
to use.
know. I got to do it better.
What's cooking in
we
the shop
need
meals?
to figure out how to get everybody past that, us included.
We've
That's-
had
well,
a few submissions, and those few submissions we've talked about on here. So come on, guys, if you want to get talked about on the
I
podcast.
know.
All right.
Just for me, and maybe everybody else can do this too. The close up is your friend. Like with our pans, we've got that copper touch mark.
Yeah.
So I'll just try to get close enough where like half the picture is food, and then it goes up and it shows our little touch mark,
Smart. Get rid of the background.
and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then do it super shallow depth of field. Background's just a blur, and there you go.
Yeah. You guys got to show us what you're made of. Hashtag Wickets Meals. Do some close-ups. Do anything. Just clear your counter off a little bit. I want to see some more food submissions. You can even tell us the yummies. Tell us a recipe. Something. Just get interactive with the show.
One
Yeah.
more meal I did do is I just made wings. Nothing fancy, right? I had wings in the fridge. They were doing a sale on them the other day at Winco, so I bought a whole bunch of wings, but they're the whole wing, right? It's like the tip, the wing, and the drum all together. And I actually just used my regular chef's knife from you to just basically cut them up,
Yeah.
into their own pieces here. And that was simple. I'm looking at the photos right now, and they look okay, actually.
Just raw chicken.
Just well, I took pictures of the whole process,
Oh,
Justin.
shit.
So
Well,
here
come
they
on.
are,
Yeah.
whole and being, cut up, being butchered in a
Butchering
very
them.
minuscule way. And then in the pans, I actually just broiled them in
Oh, really?
a couple of my pans.
Oh,
I had
sick.
a 10-inch and a 12-inch pan, both octagon, some old-style handles from when we first started making skillets.
Nice.
I salt and peppered them up real good. Into the oven. I did a broil at the end. They got nice and browned. I flipped them, drained the juice, flip them, right? So they don't
Yeah.
get soggy on bottom.
Just
Put 'em
you
back
want
under
that
the
nice
broiler.
char on the bottom too.
Yup. And they came out amazing, actually.
What sauce?
I just used Louisiana hot sauce.
Okay.
I melt a
you
little
were
butter.
on your diet again at the time.
I
right?
was, yeah. I melt a little butter, and then I mix it with Louisiana hot sauce, and I toss them around in that a little bit, and good to go.
You could have used butter too, right? You did
Yeah, I
butter.
did.
You
Yeah, a little bit of
okay.
butter with
I'm
Louisiana
sorry.
sauce. Oh,
Dude,
no, and
I
it's
love
good.
I fell
wings.
asleep at that part.
And kids love
Bill's
them.
always falling asleep. on
I
the
didn't fry them.
podcast.
I way prefer to deep fry my wings. I just
Yeah.
didn't feel like dealing with the oil and all the shit that goes along with that. Sometimes it's just such a pain in the ass. I have a fry daddy, like one of the old ones you just plug in, but I haven't changed out the oil.
Like,
in a
what do you
long
do with
time.
the oil? It's
And
always
it's starting to get a little, it's getting that kind of rancid vegetable oil smell. So
Yeah.
I'm not dealing with that. So the broiler actually worked really well. They're
I like
nice and crispy.
I like to like grill wings because
Yeah.
all the juices just fall into the fire.
And so I would give those a 2 yummy.
Too yummy.
They were good, but I was missing like the carrots and the celery and the blue cheese.
Yeah.
And all the stuff that makes them like over the top. It was just wings for dinner. I didn't feel like going to the store.
Yeah. So my dish, I'll give a solid like probably 2.5 yummy.
Yeah.
But my daughter, it was like the first food she didn't like. I don't know if she
Really?
didn't like lemons or what, but she's probably giving it at least 1 or 2 yucky.
No, wow.
I kept putting a little piece of chicken or like noodles with the sauce on it in her mouth, and she kept spitting it out. And
No
then
way.
she freaking flew it across the room. And the sauce and spaghetti and all that shit splattered all over the place. Yeah, she didn't like it at all.
Oh, that's
Isn't
funny.
that crazy how toddlers just literally like they're like, ooh, food, and they just start throwing it.
Like, yep, screw your house.
This house sucks. Yeah, it's so wild. You're like, oh, I just made all of that for you, and it's on the floor. And our floor is usually gross.
Dude, we have 3 dogs at our house and 4 children. So, I mean,
dogs,
it's
the
a
dogs are
constant
great
battle.
vacuums, though.
They are. Yes, that is very true. But we did all have some Chinese food recently.
Oh yeah.
In fact, right before the podcast
You're going to
today.
make the grand admission?
Should we do it? So
How bad we are?
We've needed photos of food in our pans, and we take our own, right? But when you want to put photos on your website, they need to be nice. They have to have,
Those official photos.
yeah, they have to have great lighting. You need to have a good camera. You need to be able to edit them. They have to be the right ratios. They have to be this, all this bullshit that goes across. And it all works out, and they do look a lot better. I mean, you can get a good photo with an iPhone or whatever, but when you really get it set up, there's a difference. So what's really a pain is to cook all that food and try to make it look perfect and then have the photography stuff all set up and everything ready to go. It's just a huge nightmare. So this time we decided to go with a slightly Asian-themed food in our pans. So
Well, it's because that's where we could get the food that
Right.
is more or less photogenic and
So-
already cooked. And
Wait,
Yeah.
that was store-bought?
So we made our way on over to the local Chinese buffet, and we bought a variety of delicious-looking food.
yeah, we got the green beans and the beef with broccoli and
We
the
staged
mushrooms.
it in our pans, and these are all things I've actually cooked in my pans. But like to cook that
Sure.
variety, it would have taken us all day to cook like 5 or
Oh,
6
not even
or
all that.
7
We'd
different
be
dishes.
doing this till
So
next
you're-
week
Oh, yeah.
sometime.
You're a phony. You guys are phonies.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. Sorry.
You're fired.
It was a joke. Bill looks so.
I was wondering why you called earlier, and you're like, I know I was going to take photos with my knives, but I'm kind of busy today. I won't be here till late. That's what you wanted to be able to sabotage us. This is a mutiny, Bill.
No, I don't
This
think
guy's
so.
in our shop. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So, yeah, we used somebody else's food in our pans. And I know that's
that's a great
probably
idea.
taboo, but you know what? It looked good. It had nice color.
It was marketing. It wasn't cooking. It was marketing.
Yeah, that was marketing, right? We show all the food we cook
And
on
it
our
was
Instagram
lunch.
and stuff.
And
it's
it was
not like we're
lunch,
trying
yeah.
to hide it. We needed good,
yeah, after all that food,
oily
like,
food.
got tossed around in multiple pans. And,
Dude, those
and
shrimp got finger
rearranged a
fucked
few
so hard.
times. And
That's
then
why they tasted
then
so
we-
good.
Then we put it all back out into the styrofoam and warmed it back up in the microwave, and it was all good.
We took all these different kinds of food when we were done. That, like Bill said, we touched every piece of that to set it where it needed to be. We dumped it all back into 2 styrofoam containers. You know, the kind that you get.
We
as
started with
takeout.
4. We ate some along
We
the
ate some
way.
as we were
Yeah,
going.
Yeah.
We piled it all into these 2. I microwaved both of them at the same time, and then we just split it all up and just ate it.
yeah.
All mixed, all been fingered. It was delicious.
Hence my-
Actually, well,
A solid 1 yummy.
it was. I would say it probably started at like 1.5. Like when we got it back, if we'd eaten it warm, the way it was supposed to be, maybe a 1.5. By the time we ate it,
Just a.
just a
I don't
0.
know. I ate a
zero.
bunch of it.
Not a yucky, not really yummy. It was just.
I'm
it
still
was
putting
filling.
it at 1.
All
Yeah,
right, all
I
right.
was saying a solid 1.
Yeah.
Where was that? After fingering it and all.
Well, I would just say it's a straight, like a, what do you call it? Zero. A moot. It was a moot point.
Not yummy, not yucky.
It was filling.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll make a turd.
Oh, okay.
That's about it. It'll make a turd.
Oh, what's that one story? You told someone, like, I don't know, this, like, you're trying to sell them a pan, but they were saying how expensive it was, but they're walking around with, like, lobster biscuit rolls and shit. And you're like, that's literally going to be a piece of shit in, like,
24 hours. Yeah, 48 at tops.
But yeah, these lobster rolls are what? Like,
And he had,
fucking,
him and his wife each had one, and 3 of their kids at $25 a piece.
yeah,
He was carrying around a pan in the form of lobster,
exactly.
in the form of future poop.
And you're like,
right.
you're going to have future poop. Yeah, I love that story. I always think about that.
Some of these people drive me nuts. I mean, they wear a T-shirt that's worth more than one of our pants.
We love them.
Not worth
we
the
love
paid.
them.
We love them, but the ones that buy.
Well, they're all eventually going to buy. We'll get them all.
I know.
But it is interesting to see sort of the dynamic of, somebody walks up in a T-shirt that's more than a pan, and you're like, these pans are how much? And you're like, well,
yeah. It's all priorities. You know, they walk up in their expensive shoes or their $10,000 purse, and you go like, you like purses. Some people like pans.
Yeah.
You bought a $20,000 purse, they're going to buy a $350 pan. Let them be, you know. Like, if that's not you, move along. Go to the purse booth, okay? All right? Tell your friends who like pans, this is where you get them. But don't give me crap about it. Like, come on, what the hell?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We're talking a lot of shit in this episode.
I know.
I know.
You know what got me fired up?
Everybody's all irritated today. It's getting to the end of summer. We're all just really feeling it.
Well,
and now we're going like, we got to go back to Uptown.
I know,
We're angry.
it's hot.
We're angry about that.
Well, the mistake I made is I went and I looked at, okay, we have that stupid video using, I mean, it's not a stupid video. It's gotten a lot of good stuff too, but we pressed some pans with a can, like a soda can, on top of the puck to like get some traction, get some attention on YouTube. Millions of views, right? 680 comments. So I went to my updates tab or whatever it is on my Gmail, and I see pages and pages of, you have a new comment, you have a new comment, you have a new comment, you have a new comment. So I clicked on a couple, I look at them, and I don't know, 80% are just people talking mad shit.
That's a good thing.
They're like, what a piece of shit. That looks like crap. I can't believe anybody would pay any money for that, let alone $300. I can't believe, how do you clean that thing? How do you saute in that thing? I bet that thing weighs too much. Who would buy that? And then the cool thing is the other 20 or 30% of the people were just like wholeheartedly defending us, which was nice.
So you didn't have to do it.
Well, and then I was.
No, you always
I
feel
got
like
involved.
you got to do it for
like
yourself.
An idiot, I get involved,
You
and
need
it's
to
so
just ignore
stupid.
the
I shouldn't have even have
knuckleheads.
looked. So I should go, well, let's see the pan you made. You know, that's my kind of response on one of them. The guy's like, what a childish response. I'm like, until you've made one, you don't get to talk shit about mine because you have no idea. Like, took them 30 seconds to press that and 5 seconds to make a handle. I can't believe it. I'm like, you son of a bitch. I've got 3 or 4 hours into that stupid pan. Like, screw off. And I didn't reply that harshly, but you know, I went like, hey,
You thought it.
I thought it, and I was like, hey guys, you know, there's actually 2 or 3 hours of going to these. And so what I did, I mean, I didn't reply from Copper State Forge account. I replied from my personal account. So that way, if I did get a little heated, it was just some dude. It wasn't like the guy who posted the video. So if you were one of those assholes, Tristan Godwin, that's me. So F you.
So were you even expecting people to get upset at like just a crushing can video?
Well, okay, the funniest part and what I thought was hilarious was a good chunk of those comments were, so why do you use the can? Why was the can there in the video? Like what purpose does the can serve? I'm like, I put in the description, can added for dramatic effect. Like it was just funny. Like we added the can because it makes that great noise and everybody sees it and they want to watch it.
Yeah, it's just fun.
It's just fun.
I did it for fun.
Yeah, but I couldn't reply that 480 times.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I ignored that one.
You know what's funny is like I expected to get a lot of heat for the new series that I came out with because they're like laser cut and they have a belt finish and all this stuff. Dude, that has gotten the most response
There you go. There you go.
I'm like, what the fuck? And like, it's all by knife I thought all these knife makers were gonna roast me. And turns out that they all turn around and they're like,
"We can do that too.
this thing's awesome, blah blah. Good job, I love it, blah blah." Like, I was kind of shocked.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah, even Mareko wants one.
Nice.
Yeah, I was like, there's a compliment.
That's a good
That
idea.
is a super compliment.
What made you decide to laser cut those out?
I don't know, some stupid guy.
Some guys who could barely make a pan.
Yeah.
Well, we might have brought this up on the podcast, but for the new listeners, when we first started making our skillets, we were hammering stuff out from scratch, right? Like cutting them out by hand, everything. We're forging out bar stock. Then we started using our plasma cutter. We started prototyping. We started doing things in a way that the end product was the same, but the process was a little bit different. Still handmade, but we would start with a form, and it was plasma cut. Now it's typically laser cut, depending on if we do it in-house or if we have the guys down the street do it for us. And we thought people were just going to hate us for doing that. Like, I can't believe you use this technology and you call yourself a blacksmith. And so right at the beginning, we had a discussion on how we were going to handle that, and we just decided we're just going to tell people exactly the way we make these. We're not going to hide anything from them, right? We don't want to
And now we tell them exactly the food we put in the pictures on the, on the website.
So we made these videos for social media, and we started showing everybody at the markets. And the first step in this video that we would show all these folks for months was the plasma machine cutting out the circle that we used to press the pan and cutting out the handle that we would hot forge later into our finished handles that we use now. And we thought, initially they were going to think we're crooks, we're a sham. They would look at that and go like, "Holy shit, you use like a machine that shoots fire to cut that out before you forge it? That's fucking amazing." And we're like, "Hell yeah." Like, they loved it. They didn't care.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we were so worried. The only people who care, we've talked about this before.
People on YouTube.
Well, yeah, are other true blacksmiths, according to their own accord, who aren't going to buy a pan anyways. They're going to make their own damn pan. So make your fucking handle however you want to make your handle. I don't care.
Yeah. Well,
don't tell me how to do it.
That's the whole thing. It's the experience we have behind all of it, because it's like I feel like I'm like downgrading in my process and how I make these knives, but people are liking them more.
Because
it's
the knives you end up with are still killer. I mean,
well, that's the whole thing.
They do
it's
the
like,
job, and
I think it's just making something look more unique, and I'm trying to make mono steel look different, like not just freshly ground piece of steel. I'm trying to make it look unique, and I think that like little rainbow effect I added with heat, along with burning the end of the handle or something, it just kind of does something to the eye, which is pleasing. That all of a sudden everybody was like loving it, and I did not expect that. So
that's cool,
nice,
man.
Very cool.
But talk about like art school or something, because I have a note in here. But one of my first art classes, they gave you a white square, and then you cut out black rectangles, whatever size rectangles you want. You could do long, skinny ones. You can do squares, whatever. And you can make 3 black rectangles and put them in the white square, and you have to make it look good, and you have to do it 20 times.
Like 20 different versions of the 3 rectangles in a white square.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was like my first art class, and it's all about like, some people would submit them and be like, "Why the fuck would you put those 3 squares all in the corner like that?" And like, I don't know. Some of them looked really bad, and then others just looked right and pleasing, and all it is like some squares on a square.
Yeah.
But the way you arrange them, the sizes that you choose, the way it makes your eye follow around and flow around, and just, I don't know. And I think that's one thing that I've always taken from art school, is like, sit down and design it. And like, because I drew it all out first before I was like, all right, I'm going to laser cut these. I drew all the profiles. I drew how I was going to grind them, where I chose to have grind lines, where I didn't want grind lines. I'm planning all this out, and I want it to look aesthetically pleasing. And I think that's like where a lot of people just look at a knife, a store-bought knife, I don't know, other knife makers, and they're like, just grind it smooth and make it like that guy's. And
Yeah.
it's like that's why a lot of knife makers have the same looking knives.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But,
yeah.
I
Well,
don't
in fact, that was in my notes. I think it was last week. We shot that little video that you put on as a reel, where we did the clapper thing. And
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
cooking potato. And I know we were shooting it on a phone, and then I saw the reel, and I was like, "Holy crap! Justin can turn goat piss into gasoline." So how about that? Because there was like no video there. I mean, we shot like maybe 20 seconds of video, and you turned it into this killer reel.
Well,
and it's like, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
reels
All
you only
right.
need like 4 clips that are 10 seconds each, and that's a 40-second clip. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't
Well,
even need that much. You need.
I was shocked at how that turned out after that little bit of fooling around with the phones that we did. I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
always
okay,
shoot
wow,
a little
very
bit
good.
more and extra than you need, because you got to go through it,
trim
and,
it
and find the spots that actually do look good, and only use those spots 5 seconds
Yeah.
at a time and put it together. I don't know.
Well, and I was listening to Knife Talk, and they were saying, essentially, when you come up with this short form content that just goes on places like Instagram, it's here today, gone tomorrow,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's got a 2 or 3 day lasting moment. I mean, some people might go back and look at some of those, but like, if you spend all day working on that one reel, it's going to have a little impact today, and tomorrow everyone will have forgotten. And
Yeah.
they're waiting for your next
Sometimes
one.
I feel like I spend too much time on
What
it.
Well-
have you done for me lately? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, for those types of things, just get it done and get it out. Get
Move
the
on.
attention and move on.
Well, things
But-
I realize I need to spend more time on is making knives look more unique. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because that's
Yeah.
what got the most attention lately.
Right.
Was that new set. So it's
Yeah.
like,
Well,
I
and
don't
I
know.
think a lot of that is like when you do that process, that's a cool process that you just explained to us, how you sit down and you draw it out and you go through that. And so I think for us, I like kind of doing some of that like long form content creation. Things that you can put on YouTube and it still gets tons of views later on and people can find
And bitch at you.
and bitch at you. Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
that
know.
one,
I haven't
that one
dived
was
into
a fun
the.
one. But
I haven't dived into the YouTube thing, but yeah, it just seems hard.
I think
Aliens.
it'll help.
Aliens.
We're in
quite a
Arizona.
bit.
The aliens like to visit.
Yeah. But anyway, so I want to spend more time with that long form content. And we've been talking about getting more of that on the website as we've been finding ways to improve our sales on the website and our conversion, because we are getting lots of people to the website. We need to convert more of those people into customers. We need to figure out how to get them to have a higher purchase amount.
Yeah, we're working on. Do you want fries with that right now?
Yeah.
I mean, we're not upselling or co-selling anything right now. So like, oh, you want to buy a pan? Okay, here's a pan,
Here's a pan.
and
So-
we're done. And we need to
We
just,
like-
just be getting started.
You want a lid? You want a handle
Spatula?
holder? You want a spatula that goes with that? Do you want a
Yeah.
chainmail scrubber? Do you want some seasoning wax? We're not asking any of those questions. We're like, oh, thank God they bought a pan. You know? Like, whoo, all right.
yeah.
That's why you need to collect emails too.
Yes, and the
Oh,
emails are
my
so
gosh.
important.
And we're
we
still
had
terrible at that.
we had like 20 sales the last time we did our little Christmas in July, and 3/4 of them came from
ridiculously small number of email
came from our
addresses.
list of emails, 1,500 or 2,000 emails. 3/4 of our sales came from our emails, even though we had tens of thousands of impressions all over Google and social media. The 1,500 people that gave us their email are obviously either returning customers or genuinely interested people. And so we need to gather more emails at markets and all those things. It's just so hard to do. Like, I hate asking for it, and I forget to ask for it, and I feel like I don't know.
Embarrassed at you. It's just kind of
It's
like,
almost embarrassing,
Hey, we want
yeah.
to send you a bunch of stuff day after day,
And we kind of need to get somebody who's got that like weird 1,000-yard stare where they just don't care.
and they just do it, and then and people.
Well,
seem to
I asked
respond to
someone,
that.
the one time someone bought a knife, and I was like, "Can I get your email just in case I ever do a newsletter eventually?" He was super excited. He's like, "Oh, for sure, dude. I definitely want to be on that." Like,
See,
some
we
people
should
are
do
excited.
You need to be next to us at the market. We need when we go back. We need to have Justin next to us, so we can give him like the little secret signal when we sell a pan or talk to somebody and have him come over ask them for their email.
Yeah. You're our email gathering guy.
Hey, dude, I've only done it once, okay?
It's once more than me.
Well, and so we're at the stage now where we're trying to really go to the next level. We've been doing this for almost 3 years now. October will be 3 years, right?
Yeah.
And we've had moderate success, and we're looking to take it to that next level. So we're trying to look at these other companies who have done that and try to kind of emulate some of the things that they've done, but with our own twist, adding little short videos on our product descriptions instead of just a few pictures, adding photos of our skillets with food in them like we worked on today.
That's what we're doing today. 'Cause
just simple things
on
like
our
that.
online thing, when we first started, we just took pictures of our pans.
Yeah.
And one of the best-selling pans we have on our website is the one pan
That has food in
that
it.
has food in it.
Like, damn, you can cook with this one.
And that one actually has food. That's the one we need, apparently.
So, creating a really good email list and actually sending out a couple emails a week, announcing our new products, doing pre-sales, sending out
trying
recipes.
to give value. Yes,
A
and
link
give
to a new
value.
video or
how
something.
Yeah.
tips on how to keep your pan looking its best.
Yeah,
or
check
that
out
sort
this
of
new
thing.
product. Look at this. Like, we need to do those things. And so we're trying to find ways to do that because, we've almost doubled the last 2 years. We're looking to do that again this year. And if we do that a couple more times, we're going to be a real force in this industry.
We'll
and
be in deep cotton.
yeah, we need to, hopefully, because we're doing okay now, but we ain't getting rich.
Yeah.
We're still struggling through the summer, wondering how we're going to pay all those bills.
And you
And we
say-
need to get to that next level.
You say you'll be in deep cotton, but then when you get there, it doesn't nearly look as deep.
Yeah, it's
a
ankle
bunch
high.
of other stuff happens.
It's ankle high. If I could just get to my knee in cotton, I'd be good, But so we're striving to do those things, and it's difficult because we're also making it. So we have to make the product. We have to sell the product on the weekends. We've recruited some help. We've got Alan, who you might have met at a market if you follow us at Uptown, possibly out in Gilbert. He's been helping us. He's got some time in his hands to hopefully get some work done on our website, get some content made for us. He helped us take some photos today. He wouldn't touch that gross Chinese food, but we thought it was pretty good. But anyways, we're recruiting help. We're trying to learn how to delegate a little bit better, and hopefully be able to get us to that next level. And we want to help you guys do that too. Like all of you listeners out there have heard kind of what we're doing. We're putting in that weekly grind where we do 5 days in the shop, 6 days in the shop, and
Weekly
we're at a market
grind?
every weekend.
Weekly grind. What are you grinding with?
Hey, you know what? Thank you for that segue. I appreciate it.
Well, yes.
We have now for
we are
about
grinding with
2
some
weeks
new,
been using
great stuff.
Our benchmark abrasives belts. We're using the 5-inch disc sanding with the no holes, which has actually turned out to work really well on our orbital sander for adding the texture on the bottoms of our pans for seasoning. So a huge shout out to our sponsor, Benchmark Abrasives, for
and still
hooking us up.
The scrub nuts cleaner has
Oh my
been
gosh.
a life changer.
The one thing, this is hilarious. So we have a trough style sink in our bathroom. So
It's the bathroom for the whole.
for this whole place, right? It's a communal bathroom. Like it's a nice bathroom. They just redid them, but it's a big long trough sink. And so we use the scrub nuts. And let me tell you, the abrasiveness of that shell, that walnut shell that's in there, is out of this world. It's not so tough that it hurts
It's
your hands, but
irritating. Yeah, it's
it
not
gets them
irritating.
so clean. But it's so funny when it all washes down, that giant trough, it's like a gold pan.
Yeah.
Right. As it goes down, all of the dirtiness from your hands and all the grease and all the oil and all the water eventually drains, but the little bit of walnut shell stays behind.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, at least,
So you just give it another splash and it goes right down. But we always laugh when we look at that. We're like, that's why our hands are so clean.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
So huge shout out to Benchmark Abrasives. We appreciate you guys. Your products have been amazing. Have you been using their
It's been
belts
a
a lot
life changer.
recently?
Yeah. I started using their grinding hood a lot more than, I don't know, I used it for a little bit whenever I first got it, and then I've been lazy and I just wear my glasses so I've been using the mister on my grinder, which I love a lot. Like that, I feel like that's a huge game changer in trying to pump these things out a lot faster because you don't have to constantly dip your knife. But anyways, my glasses always get fogged up. So the first time they get fogged up during the day after I've been being lazy, I throw the glasses, I put the grinding hood on, and that thing never fogs up.
That's
And it's
nice.
Super nice, but yeah, it gets a little moist in my grinding room. So
Moist.
How much
Super
water are
moist.
you using through your mister? Is it?
as much as I
Is
can.
it just cranking out?
Yeah, I just fucking spit it out.
So, well, and let me tell you how important it's a squirter. Let me tell you how important these grinder hoods are. So about 5 months ago, I used just regular cheap glasses typically until we got this sweet new grinder hood from Benchmark Abrasives. And some things get around them apparently, because when I was done grinding, I was grinding stainless steel, some of our butter knives and things like that. My eye was irritated and it was bugging me. And
You're talking about the safety glasses.
Yeah, the safety glasses that I normally use. I was wearing those at the time. Some things kind of make their way around that. So my eye was irritated. I'm like, I don't know. I don't see anything in it. I'm looking in the mirror in the bathroom. I don't see anything. The next day, like my eye is weeping. It's like watery. It's red. I'm like, what the hell? So I talked to my wife. She's like, I'm sure you got a chunk of metal in your eye. You need to go to the emergency room, get them to take it out. I'm like, yeah. So I go in and the guy's like, all right, this is... it's a pretty simple process. I've done this a few times before. Pulls out a razor blade and a magnet, right? And he's like, yo, we're just going to use this magnet. Magnet pulls it right out. I'm like, buddy, I got bad news for you. I was grinding 304 stainless steel. That magnet's not going to do any good. So they put these numbing drops in my eyeball, and then he has this other solution that he puts into your eye, and it like will go into any little crack or whatever. It's kind of like what machinists use to find a crack, like in metal. And then he puts a UV light over it.
Like he magnifluxed your eye?
Yeah, he puts this drops of stuff in there, and it's supposed to kind of like fill in that little spot where that void is, where you have that splinter or you have that piece of metal or whatever. Uses a UV light, and you can see it light up. So he's got this thing, like this monocle in his eye. He's put these drops in my eye. And of course he's like, okay, open your eye and don't blink. Oh, okay. Man. Okay, so you're going to dig into my eyeball with a fucking razor blade, and I'm not supposed to blink? I'm like, you better get somebody in here to hold my eye open, because that's not going to happen. So he did. Had a nurse come in there and they had to crank my eye all the way open, and he reached in there with that little razor blade, and he was able to remove that tiny little piece of metal. And I can tell you, if I was wearing that grinder hood, I pretty much guaranteed that would not have happened. That little piece of metal wouldn't have worked its way around those glasses. I mean, they wouldn't work their way around that big old grinder
hood. Yeah.
So definitely use one, dude.
Dude,
Go check them out.
My first time working with you, and you're like, here, grind out these like 500 handles or whatever. I was like, all right, whatever. I put on a mask and glasses and whatnot, and I got something in my eye too. And I think it was like after taking everything off, I was covered in metal dust.
Yeah,
dude.
oh, yeah.
But like,
everywhere.
I think just even
It'll
like
just drip off your eyebrows.
Yeah, even like removing my safety glasses probably like dropped shit into my eye. So yeah, but those grinding hoods, they cover your whole head. So
yeah, and it's funny because when they sent me the initial email, he goes, "Don't forget to add a grinding hood." Like, oh, all right, cool. I guess I'll do that. And then he sent some replacement lenses and all kinds of stuff, so you can actually replace those lenses.
I mean, people have gotten smacked in the head with belts that snap. And have had serious injuries. So I mean, these things are going to save your eyes, your face. You got to keep all these blacksmiths looking beautiful out here.
That's right, baby. That's right.
But I'd say that's a show.
Man.
Is it?
It's a pretty good one.
I know we did a long one.
We're about an hour 22 in, guys.
Ouch.
I know. Why do we do this each week for you guys? This long, this much information?
I don't know. This is a chore. This is a lot of work for us to do, actually.
I gotta drive over here. So maybe if you want to support, hit up our Patreon.
Yeah. Okay, keep whining.
That's a great idea.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
So check out our Patreon, guys. What's cooking in the shop?
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways to help us out.
Yeah.
I don't know what they are, actually. Justin.
And also,
we gotta
sit
sit down
rolling,
and look at it.
Even if you're new to the Patreon, send us some questions. Tell us what you guys are doing. Send us some useful hints to help us too, because not the YouTube kind of hints, the really helpful ones.
Yeah. We like hearing.
Oh,
from
you know
guys.
what? I had a couple people reach out and see. We're gonna keep the show going.
All right,
let's call this the after show. Just for fun.
Here's an after show.
We're gonna
No, but you know how last time I tried a piece of glass on my platen?
Yeah, it cracked.
I had a few people send me what to actually get, and it's like a half ceramic glass, probably tempered or whatever. But so like that episode came out today, or was that last week?
Today.
I can't keep track.
Oh, I don't know, but people are already on it, sending me like, "Hey, this is what you get." But I went to the glass shop because I wanted to just go see if like a thicker piece of glass would work.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, "Oh no, heat is all. If it's getting hot, yeah, heat is always gonna break glass." And I was like, "Huh?" He's like, "Yeah, it has to be tempered." I was like, "Huh." We like temper steel, they temper glass. So he was like, "Yeah, like you know the glass in your oven. You look through your oven through a piece of glass. Like that piece of glass is tempered. It's so it can withstand 800 degrees or something." And otherwise, that piece of glass would just shatter if it was just a normal untempered piece of glass.
Right.
But he was like, "Yeah, so you're probably gonna have to get something tempered or this or that." And I was like, "I know some like companies who probably make the pieces of glass. I've heard about people using them all the time." So
How about we go buy the $30 ovens at the?
No, our old oven is in the dumpster outside. If you want the glass.
Yeah, just go cut the door
I
off.
wonder if it cuts any different.
Uh,
No, I
it
already
shatters.
Well, if
I
it's
can
safety
tell you
glass,
that.
it might shatter.
honestly on Amazon it was $15 and they give you a little glass platen with the little
no way.
sticky with the little sticky backing on it and
Oh,
everything.
that's
Never
where
mind.
you should have started, bro.
Yeah. Never mind.
I know. I don't know.
We're going like, how can we get those oven doors?
You
the
didn't
glass
find
out
a
of the
local
oven
glass
doors.
maker
Yeah.
to do it for you.
I know. It's fucking stupid. I'm running around town trying to figure this out, and I like right after I got done at the glass shop, I looked on my phone and I was, oh, sure enough, the exact size I
Glass
need on
platens,
Amazon.
they sell them.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Well, Cole, you have to let us know how it goes once you get it on there and using it.
Figured I would talk about that too.
Nice.
Well, cool. Well, thank you guys for your help for pitching
Yeah.
in and sorting out that glass platen and all those ideas you sent over. If you want to participate in the show, if you have questions for us, comments, anything like that,
Recipes,
go check out our Instagram.
Pictures of food.
Make sure you tag your
Close-ups
stuff.
are your friend.
Hashtag Wicket's Meals.
Send them over.
All right.
Over and out.
See you guys.
Later.
Blah.